Welcome again. Welcome to the mission and Ministry SYLVESTER. This is our very special live evening section. A special time to have the code with a supernatural word and the great summary for what we've been doing, trying to come up with almost everything, code, everything, the names, function for whatsoever it is that they give with more cash to get the best for that can affect. So find out more about really make what we are, and then basically we're asking for the three main colors, and the front almost everything right there is a spirit that made this day what it is, and was special name. Other things. So let's go a little bit. Okay, we also go about the rule that makes it possible what we the evil spirit, what if carry today. So 17 verses. Okay, we break. So to continue with very much important conversation and discussion, it's my very special honor to show kind of food, garden, things we do that let life continue. I cannot fail to be there. Let's take a moment up to some of the things we've been talking about, and then we look at any other thing. So we were basically looking at the word and the spirit in those times. Ancient for where natural regard to what we understand and what we don't understand, corrupting without knowing. Because if you corrupt anything without knowing, the spirit will be judging you. So what do? You give ear to understanding. If there's nobody having spirit of understanding, whatever they may or wish to give, even for that which you pay for, is invalid under the universe. So what created a world, that which created, give the rule. And the rule is this: you can throw away. So looking at what we have come from, and then the journey. It's always a journey. So we've been having this situation, three colors as you see it or perceiving. That if we talk about these three colors, I'm going to show you what these three colors made as three produce one each for three again, and then 6 of these stars in the colors or the new heavens that they begot for themselves, which is basically the three main colors that we'll also talk about, and that which begot the light. So that when these three create for themselves any other news, the news will be that they join in themselves again to produce light. So when you take a look at 6 up to 6 generation, the works of almost every one of these things here produce the 7th generation, which is light. Yet that doesn't end right there. Then the light carried from that stage to raise and end the generation to the 9. Yet the same 7 had made the other numbers who they are. Because the 7, as you look at the light, had been in almost generation of every creation. So look at that which it is. Let's present it again. Now when you look at these very elements and impressions created from the art, nobody should tell what it is better than the colors on display. So we've been talking about hue. Now when we take a look at the colors here, let's look at the colors here. If we have such a color, let me put it on display. Let's just do this. Any other place I want to put it will give us what? The real reason. So as we perceive the screen, let's assume it in the place where it's supposed to be, as we have it also here. That if I need to mention a word, I have to know where it is placed, so that we've been concerned about such creation here. And this should be very important role playing in the creation. So let's watch carefully. What first of all we make up from these very authority. So take a look. Let's display this for green. Even it's not supposed to be as a thing. Let's look at it. I want to consider what color it is here. Like, just look at what we're saying here. You try to get it like this. So watch carefully. So this green, let's put it here so that you understand very well. So one of them, we just want to make the green visible. Like, I want to have it is here. You know, we have the blue, we have the red, and I told you that it's blue, and then the red. So we have to have the green. So the green, so like, have it, watch carefully as we have it. I want to place that one so that because what you are seeing, they have to be careful. This green and they're like what you gonna like, same way this are up of this. But we can look at like okay, what I'm saying. When you have this red or red and this, they form a color here like this. And when you have this blue to this, so this and this also meeting, they have this generated. You also read this form. If you are blue, they know what we in that. They know what they come out with. Look at this and that you have in this part and this yellow or red form. Unique green, red, and then blue like this. So this is it. Now when these three begot three, which is one each, representing how the pairing is, when the six of these come to one stage, it will form this variation. That three, then another three, and when you meet the three, then it will be 7 here. So actually it will have almost we need now the primary stage are red, yellow, and blue. Now these colors cannot be created in any way mixing other colors together. You will have this that they are used to mix and all in this. This is what you are having. Just wait for 3 years as the colors, no matter what we have had. Now the traditional color known to the most people right there refer to traditional. There are some things you can apply around you. First, you get from the life because if you're not found things take place, you won't be able to tell, you cannot also tell. However, it has to be presented on a level you have to understand it. That is the race. Alright, which you want to say red, yellow, blue. What do you do in that main or the base which form any other color? As you may see, the jury in practice are yellow and blue. And also to have it television or screen or those things, actually you actually use a pure select what you want. So on the digitals you have a television and any other things like computers. These colors are used: red, green, and blue. So that's what they are, as it makes it so rich and appealing to what? Visual arts. To say you regard it as what you can communicate easily on a more clarity. Now in the area for printing, in printers, we have the CMY, where you have the colors here. This, where we have anything designed, we would have what? Many other things that it goes through, as we delay the word through, because we said we put it into code because we're supposed to. That's what we do on the meat action. It had to a surface that you understand. So they just really have the names, and when you look at what the saying refers to, or the saying refers to, it would mean that you need a technical area. Modern, like you see what is modern. So like technically, you need modern primary colors for ink are what I mentioned: cyan, magenta, and yellow. So this is what they mix up, especially in the printers, to get any other color working. But for real painting, we have and here we are supposed to have any other thing. You want to think is that not we make it part to be that reserve. $3 we call it because the primary is this second level here, and when we have okay to have this, we have this angle side on this. As this one is simple. However, you don't see a same place. Look at what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This light, one-on-one. You're seeing one-on-one here. So if you don't see particular light, see this. They already have this particular light in this. So what is most important to the world is how they go. That is what means so much to them. And when you take a look, you have felt that Sunday have it created light to any other generation. Yes, that's it. That makes a clear understanding. So that if we mean that we have to understand mixing of the secondary colors, what do you do to get any other? Like when you put this red, yellow, to get a crossing, either horizontal or vertical, that you may put it, we have to have orange. Which you want to say orange, but that's orange. Like simply, you can understand in a way where we say orange. Something that is in range but is in the O form, which is origin for maybe looking at a star like this, in a form like this, they are orange. They are in orange. So orange is actually described because it has the form and shape in the more round, so that in the stage you describe it. Now when you also place the yellow also to blue, they're going to give you this, the gray, which is saying, you know, it sounds like I'm saying gray, but in reality you're going to find it. That's even in the teaching where we have taken it earlier, and that's why the name is for that. The Archangel's tongue will mean it, whichever understanding that I have to say it is, how I made it possible. We are not talking through maybe dust. How we get it. Now we also place blue and red. We're gonna have purple or violet or violet. What do they have to mix? These and these. Or you have the purple. But the same thing goes for pink. Yeah, these are the same range that we got the pink. Like when you take a look here, these and these can get you what we say is pink. Now to the stretch, the violet. That's other purple or violet. So that is the not just seeing it, not. So now get to the level here. When you see what we have in reserve, we try to make it happen. So here we got it. Let's take a look at what it is or it means here. When we have the number 17, we'll have to look at it critically. That according to the biblical studies, the number 17 in the law of the Lord, where you have the Torah. What is the Torah? I don't want us to talk so much about those things, because we already making what? Why we didn't know what is Torah probably. Yeah, we have more than what it takes to talk about heaven and creation, so that it won't be the law that prevent us from knowing what is right or what is reserved. It is rather we doing it before you getting to know that the name from which you have carried something is referred to as this. And what do they mean is Torah. So actually it is to Ra. There's somebody referred to Ra. So when something has been destined, whoever is to the Sundays, they are the one the law of the Lord is given. And in ancient biblical history is a word, is a profound symbol for complete victory. That's we also handled this earlier on. And overcoming. These are the things, or these are the elements reserved. These are the rules and regulations. These are the position designate. Overcoming who? The enemy. Overcoming the opposite, the rule. Now, it is derived also from what? The combination for such a number 7, which is spiritual fetching or completing your marathon or race or that which you graduate to the next level, and having the 1 0, which is the on and off, or the light communication is what? On and off, which is 1 and 0. Or you want to have it EO, that is to get in the first place, ordinal. So ordinal fetching or completeness. So if peradventure you meet these criteria, then you fetch. If on your way you have 10 peswa and then there's water, so at 10 peswa or 10 cents, you peradventure will fetch it. That's why we mentioned the Samaritan or the Samaritan woman and the Christ. Christ had the faith of hope or works that if he should have anywhere to drink, his Father through the wilderness or wherever the Spirit lead him through won't be without what is Spirit that he may dwell on. Even if he speaks on the and he has to it and whatever, do what you believe, what you agree, and what you don't agree. Yours is to know what you have been asked to do. You are not in a position where I was born or I've been birthed a prince. You don't know anything about that. Even the people that we have been, let's say, destined to be with or to lead them to the level they are now, they don't know it. Because when you come to the level that we are, we're just like a human being, just like that, serving anyhow, like anybody else wants to serve. Like you apply for job, you pick, you work. Or you live among them, you get up, you sweep. We didn't have somebody who had to say he served, we rather serve. So the Lord cannot take my place for service to be opposite. Who hasn't done it? You cannot give my glowing light to them to, you can cover them for that which they didn't come from. So in that case, my righteousness war is this, that when I ask, if you know that which is right, you have to do the right thing. You cannot say somebody and myself, we are pulling and dragging a throne that is not for he and I. I have been born January to say being fortunate in the race. I'm the fortune, yet I'm not supposed to be a fortune. If my work in the generation every time is what keeps the virgin, that's why I've always been. And I've always put myself in the time and light. That's the heavens. That the Lord makes it possible, and I also make it possible that I'm the only one or the only place of what kingdom that rule with the law. Because if you don't allow the law to rule in creating you or in creating myself or in creating yourself, so it is a law that is against you any generation until you make it. Now watch here. Here is the mystery for the number 17 or 17. In ancient days, broken down as its also key biblical occurrence. Now the starting and resting for Noah's Ark, where you think the journey. So where we say journey, no matter what you do, the journey and it's 6. So when you say G6, you are referring to this. When you say journey 6, you are referring to the 6 stars, which also represent every one of them one angel. So this 6, S-I-S. Okay, now the flight is up there. You can hear it. Listen. So now that we've listened, that particularly is for this day, and I told you that it's not just about a day, but particularly for a reason. This is valid for eternity, because it's with what infinite world. This is a millennium and a kingdom predestined. Almost every time, the only kingdom that rule on entirely the universe and in the world and any place, that I told you the rock on which the Lord eat is this same rock that he prepared a vineyard, so that when it's ready he pick up the ripe fruit, or from whom it is given to keep that is wise, keeping when the Lord visits this rock on which he feed himself on. So you are one of them that will be mentioned in their kind of prayer, even when they have been hailed to the top. No matter what the heavens, or you are not told that new earth or new ether world or stone is discovered. You want to say that it's Yeshua that you know that made it, or it's a modern world. It means they have allowed things to happen in advance. That if there's one portion, and that one portion can create yet another portion, making it in two places or more, or multiplying it. That's a fruit of the Spirit, or fruit from the Spirit, that we have created one aeroplane and have made yet another aeroplane from an idea you have developed and have come to the finish line, and that have repeatedly produced. So these numbers are very crucial. Like we have 171. If you understand 171 is right. So what does it mean? 171, like a service of this personality to another personality who is the same. A one personality here that serves another one here. So this one here is giving service of the generation here, which is up to the seventh star or one-on-one. Today's one here. So there is very 2026 have become very beneficial and profitable in a year as the timeline. Now this T1124, that is even to say a mystery to understand what it means here, that at the time I have to check time, we also have it here, which goes also for this. Things are really working in that way with my name and the birth star that is showing light. It means that my star is not dead. You are the one causing problem to it, and the Lord didn't say that that is how the world should be. What do you know about the life that you fail to understand what the Lord is saying, and you keeping it to the light or hailing to light, you became opposite to the word. So in the case where we have the flood, or the flood, as the flood begins, how do you mean what begins? This is a code. This word here is a code. The word BEGINS is a code. If I had to decode it, we'll see some angel's name called Jinn. You'll see your flesh, bloodline, DNA, genetics. And you see the resting place for the great one like this, or the giants. You're going to see a lot. But just right now watching it, that's what I have to tell you. So you don't actually have any knowledge. As you want to say it begin means you want to say something had probably initiated from maybe time counting 0, 1, 2. You count it from 0, maybe to 2 or wherever it ends, or start again. Now that the fountains for the great deep broke open on the 7th day. That is what we are simply saying. What? There's 1/7. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The 1/7 day for what? The second month. So when do you want to say is the second month? Like this same month. When it comes to the time like again, January and then February, they are the same people. That's why things are happening the way you don't get it until you come to the understanding level, which is spirit. You cannot read any book or any Bible and understand. You never understand it. Because what you read out there, except their way comes to place or to play a role, you don't have any understanding. Because understanding that you are saying, I was right with you, and you did it. And I was right there when the Lord created. Or I bear witness to myself, acknowledging I create this, or SYLVESTER KWASI did it. That's what it is. You don't just abuse it. So that in the second month is this same month. So when it starts, or you want to say the giant who created the world, the first month January, and then the second month February. So somebody with a different calendar cannot tell us when it starts with us. Where the origin starts, that's where it is. Because they can pull and drag whatsoever. What they were given is probably not what is given here. So when they are looking at things, how the Lord gave them, is a law to them. But unfortunately, we are not born on the same area or the era they have been given where it begins with them. It begins differently over here. And when it starts with Saturday for them, it is not on Saturday. It's Sunday itself, the seventh day. That is the seventh day, which is the same first day the Lord initiated the creation. That's why when it gets to the seventh day, it becomes 8. It becomes 0, 0 again. That means from origin to origin. Like I mean this, let's put it there. This, when you start, let's say, from 0, the ob, like the O, and then you have a counting number. Let's just put it in between it. There we have this. The ob or O. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we just want to add 6, 7. So that you stand at O and make these numbers work. That is what? You make them work to create it. So that when you add, let's say that talent here multiplying, that 1, you were given talent. And then you added 1 talent to it. So that it became 2. So only 1 was given in its place. And so it's this same word. When you see it like nothing or all, when there was no sun, nobody has standing like this, and you created 1 person. Now, this when you are given, you also create 2 places for this. That is in this 1, 1 in this. Now, to have also this place, you added also this to this, and you got this. And that, when you add yet again 1 to this 1, 3 here, you get to this 4. And when you add this same 1 to this 4, you get to 5. When you add also this 1 to the 5, you get to 6. When you get this 1 to this 7, then you have to have the 8, which is the O. So the 8 was right like this. So you get to this number or this code, which stands for this 8. So when you get to what? How many digits now? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You see it? That's it. That's where it is. Here we have just how many things created. These are the whole things. We just got to this and then you are seeing what? 11. So 11 digits. So if I key in 11 like this here, that's what we are supposed to have. So watch carefully. We don't need a shout as we are not in a race with anybody else. So to have it. So these are code. What I'm doing is code to mean if indeed what I'm doing here is obvious that what I put here is in the calculation for what number I added to it. And somebody else saying, you didn't see 9. And you didn't see what? Something. Yes. That's how the world is. It's in a mystery. So if you are the one who created or you allow the creation to go on, so you code it to that which you have mastered or that you created. Not that your enemy should give you the rule. Never. So to have it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see? So this becomes 10, but you know it. This same number here is 10. The 8 here that you see, 0 here, 0 here. That is 10. Where did we stand before we got number 1? 0. So when you see the number 8, that is 10 already. That is 10. So that is in the 10th place or 10th place. When you see the code, you see that you can only understand when I show you what and what made it. The world was in the orb like this O, and then you found a mystery to have number 1. And how you got to 2, unless I show you that when this becomes 1, one thing created, that you represent it by the 1. How you get to 2 also says that when you produce one thing, the talent for, let's say, reproducing, what you stand here and you make this one. So in this same place you stand here and you make yet another one. That's what it is, which is also at the end. So when we make one here, then at the end you also have a one again. So any other number that you want to display here. So this is a very new code. Yeah, to what I'm saying with understanding and spirit. So you want to say, why is number 9? What 9 are you looking for? What 9 are you looking for? The same 8 is 9. And the same 0 here is 9. So why are you looking at 9? Looking at 9. Or you simply need 9. When they say disco light, he that returned to the earth is the same person that we say 9. That's what they are saying here. So this same 6 is 9. When they turn anti-clockwise standing, it is 9. And when they turn from 9 clockwise direction 360 times, you say it as 6. But in the form like this, you only turn from anti-clockwise, you get 9. But for you to have it the way it is created, to get 9, it has to move. Also from, let's say if it goes anti-clockwise, to get to 6, it will be 360, like we're saying, simply saying to take the entire life like this, 9. This PM, when you turn it, or when you orbit clockwise to the what? The 12th place, which is 3, like this, you say it. There's 3, or you have a 3, which is 12, that is 1 to here. That's so when it is where you think it's placed, the 12 is here. You only have it here. That this when you add it, they got you 3. There was no just number, there was no number in the place that you just count and then you have it created already. No. How they begot 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 is it. It was not created that you just say, I'm counting from 0, 1, 2, 3. No, it's not like that. What place begot this is what they are showing you. That 1 plus 1 will be in the place like this. And when you add 1 to 2, you have this. When you have 1 to 3, you have this. When you have 1 to 4, you have 5. So you don't have it like 1, 2, 3, or 5. No. That's why when they teach you, you don't understand things. That they cannot prove it. They have no such way to prove what you are doing or what you are doing. So what they claim that they are teaching you, it doesn't have the standing place. Except you can prove how we got this. How we stand here and we got this. That 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6 because they begot 1 first. So any other number had to vibrate itself with this before you get the preceding numbers. So in the others, to say you want to see 9, this same number is 9. Like I told you. So if I place 6, 9 here, like this, it's like I'm worrying myself. If I had to understand. So when you don't see 6 and 9, say that they are air. So 6 and 9, they are the one producing air. This spirit you are breathing. That's their works. So when 6 is going to the top, it is 9. Yes. And when it comes to the top on your level, that is down and descending from top to your ground level, it is 6 you are seeing. It means the head of intent, like this is birth. So that's why your head comes first. In the birth, your head comes. And I don't, like this, if I have to agree, do you have your head comes to the heaven first? Do you agree with what I'm saying? In the birth or childbirth, what do you come out with? You come out with your head first. That is a place of 6. And when it goes in with head also. That's it. So that if your head goes in and there's no place, you get out. Because when you come out with your leg and your head probably in, it's going to cause, if there should be emergency, your head that is in will cause problem. So this is what it is, or in this number to display. So that to understand the mystery from, maybe you counted from 0 to 9. You want to say you have 10, a place of 10. So what a place of 10, like we say, that's 8. So to prove a place of 10 is 8. That is 0, 0. So 0 on themselves, and they are proving how this thing works. Now watch here. If you want to see what they are trying to say, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then they came and reprove how they made 1 to 9. Counting number 1 to 9 or 1 to 10. That begins, or that continues there as 12, 13, 14, 15. Now watch what I'm saying. Let's see where we count this from, what number will be got, or that is going to happen in this same form. Now, in the place, you probably say we have number 11. Okay, let's say 12. Then you place 1 again. 1 repeat to what? 3. Then we got what? 13. 1 repeat to what? 4. Then we got what? 14. 1 repeat to what? 5. Then we got 15. 1 repeat to 6. Then we have 16. 1 repeat to 7. Then we have 17. Then when we place 1 here, then we get to what? We have to what? Have what you are thinking when you thought 10 is lost. Then we get to 10. Now when you get to a place of 10, what code have shown? 1008 is showing. When you dial 1008, we are going to have even we will have 10,000. With this alone is 10,000. Now, and the surprising thing here is that when you have 100 and you see this same number here, it tells us that we have 100 here, 11. 100 here, so 100 hours. So this is a place of, say, 100 hours. 100 hours. And then 11 minutes. That's probably here. That's what it is. So when you get to this place, clock. So you cannot just walk past it. So to continue, once I prove something here, I cannot continue because I have what? I have made work out there meaningful to the proof of the Spirit. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to continue from this proof somewhere here. Then look at what we're trying to say. 100, or you want to see this where it will repeat itself. Now, do you want to say that we have 8? So when I place 1 to 8, so when we add 1 and then 8 here, it will give us what? The 18, which is also 1 plus this thing here is the 9. So you don't have to look for it. Once you have this here, you have the 9 here. So 8 is 7 also as the 9. It's the same 10. It's the same what? 1. Like you are seeing 1, 1, 1 here. And this proves how we got to what? The number 2 here. You see that what we were trying to prove here, how it started to this place or where it ends, we have it here proved already at the end. That's why it says what begins it. When you get to the end, you have to see the same person. So we have that. Now, when we add, let's say 1 to what number? To the 0 that we prove here, which is proving any of this. Then we have, look at it. Then you think 10 comes here to play a role. Then when you look at adding 1 again to it, we have another 10 playing a role. Why is 10? 0 plus 1 here, they are the same 10. So it begins it here 10 and it ends also there 10. So you are seeing 10 in 2 places. Yeah, you don't see it physically, but when we get to this side, you are seeing 10. When it comes to this place, it's also 10, so because point 1 is the same 10. And that you are seeing 10 before you count to the number 10. There, to have a 1 added to 8 here, we will leave the code right there. and this one right here. If not, it will only continue with 1, 1, 1, 1. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or let's add to this. Once we prove this, you see that from this side, it's beginning to only 1, 1, 1, 1. What am I going to have here going is 1, 1, 1, 1. So I'll even leave it the way it is. So these are the 12, 13, 14. Prove how we got 1, 2, 3. It means they added 1 plus 2. There you got 3. 1 plus 3, we got 4. 1 plus 4, we got 5. 1 plus 5, we got 6. 1 plus 6, we got 7. And it goes on like that. So it would just be. So you see that this is a language. So this will tell the computers and the light what I'm putting here. When they display what I've done here right now in the system, it will bring a creation which is meaningful, which nobody can say we've ever heard. Proven. Because of what level of understanding it is with this. Now, we'll go there as it is. Let's leave it right there. We have to leave it the way it is. Because we've proved already what is here. How we got this, how we got this. You don't just say that they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. To continue counting numbers, that's not how we do it. There's what we got this. You haven't proved how we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's why when you are trying to say you are in mathematics addition, the same mathematics addition and multiplication is with this same thing you are saying here. These numbers are the same answers you are trying to prove with something. So if you teach and somebody really do not understand, it's because you are not the one spirit of understanding is giving. And the fact that you also say you are able to repeat after what your sir or your teacher or whatever is teaching, it doesn't make the two of you right or correct. Because you are proving nothing. For what I proved here right now, they have no such knowledge. Why? Because it's a news. So if I count any number and I reach 11 hours, this is why I was birthed in January, 11 hours. January is a number placed 11 hours, 1 on 1. That is the Lord and his angel, or the Lord and his lamb. That is why you see the 1 and 9, 1 and 7, or any other number. You see that 1 stand with every one of these things here. So let's get to the side here. Where are we proving to? This side. So you see where we try to form this. Only here. So that the flood begins, or where the flood begins. Now that says what? That the fountains of the great, or for the great deep, broke open on the what? 17th day for the what? The second month, which we are saying. So this is where we go to, and then it begins to what? Open what? Numbers. Then when you see 711, that is 711. You are saying already. Is that not what is written there? So when we go open Genesis 7:11, you are going to see the mystery. We'll do that after taking this to the level here. So we'll do it, but I won't do it now. Now, then the next point is what? The Ark Rests. Now the Ark came to rest. The Ark came to what? To rest. So the Ark came what? To rest. On what? On the mount, or on the mountain called Ararat. And in Kenya area we have a place called even Rhierh. So that is a spirit code for the place. So they are benefiting from this name, yet they may not know at all. That is what Rhierh, because of this name. And also on what? On the 17th day of the 7th month. So when you count from January to the 7th month, we have to have a mystery right there. So that you take note. Second month, what has happened? They've shown you. Then 7th month, something has happened. We have to show you. So what is it? That on the 7th month, which is Genesis 8 and then 4, what has to happen? You have to look for it also in the world and see if what you are saying has also happened in that month. Now, the mystery, the flood, a symbol for what? Judgment began and ended. In terms for, or you want to say, I don't want to use of, I'm doing things on. In terms, or in the term for finding rest. That's always been. So a place in Konya had to leave Accra for where it is currently located. That's the purpose and the word. That is the spirit working. To prevent, let's say, a certain violence for who have no understanding and have to cause problem. Then the Lord will lead his own to that just say a place he can find rest. Is a reason why we have to cross waters. So you see, you were trying to think that if the spirits or other spirits are making it impossible, we beat them in every level and cross waters. Because they would have said, "Oh, where is your boat or the ark that will enable you cross it?" That's a mystery again. And we made it. If not, they would have made the water a stumbling or a deep and fall that will prevent you from what? Traveling, which will give you what? A place until you find what will enable you cross. And we have always made it. So that this is a mystery. That the flood, a symbol of judgment or for judgment that began and ended. That it start and pause or it start and end somewhere. Right there. In terms for finding rest. On the 17th, which symbolizing that the sword, the 6. You see, at the end of the day, we have the 6 in the same word. The 6th race is a race. Where you are calling it, this one is different. They are not the same. That is the same 9. There's number 6. You see that with what you're trying to say here? That number has come out there, stand here as G, but that's not the word for G. But that, if you understand what it represents, that's a 9. That when you turn it opposite is 6. So that it is what? The 9 race. When it's going to what? A resting place, which is heaven. That they said what? If you have had to work and suffered, come to a place he called and say resting. That's what you are seeing with this letter or symbol G, which is 9. So when you are saying what? Race, the G race or 9 race, and they told you the 9 stars and 9 sons and 6 sons, all of that, the 6, which is what? 3 daughters and 3 sons. These are supernatural. And when it gets to the 9, you're getting the 333. And what? Self-vision or salvation, which you say is salvation. Now, the salvation was there as the ark, secured for what we say victory. What is victory? When they were telling you the fig tree, if a place you are supposed to have victory, if it's not given, they are simply saying the fig tree. Why should we call a curse when it's supposed to take you to a destination and it fails to do and it's now fighting you? That's what you are saying here. So the words and the letters you have been saying on tongue, as you have been taught in the churches, they are not really like that. What they tell you, they say in plain text, they tell you, okay, try as much as they say it, and